Well, hello everybody. Mike Rasmussen here. I'm coming at you from another conversation from the car. As appropriate, it seems like that's how I roll sometimes. The title of this video will be "This Is Your Life." I gain a lot of inspiration from a band that I've shared with you before, called Switchfoot, based on some of the stories that the lead singer has shared with me. You can find the story there if you want. Just go look up the story of Switchfoot and what their story is. It's pretty remarkable. They basically had a point in time where they could choose their music or choose to go down the path that the world wanted them to go down, which meant, the traditional path that everybody goes. Go to school, go that route. Now, I did do the traditional route and I went into school, but I chose human resources and recruiting because that's where I thrive. And I know that about myself. I know about what my history is. These past 5 years have been very interesting. So it all began with COVID, seeing an uptick in my rec load. Workload went up, and I did, it's a good thing, but having to balance all that and figuring out how to do that was very important. Next thing, I got a call and got recruited to go work at the LDS church for about a year and a half. That was a good experience. I learned a lot from it. I went on to work agency side after that for about a year. Then the budget froze up there. So I got recruited from ADP after being there for 9 years, right at the top of when everything seemed to be turning, right? So you didn't anticipate that there'd be changes or other things. So I made a move to gain growth because I thought it was the right timing and that I'd always have the chance to come back to ADP. Well, went to the LDS church and their operation there and worked there for a little bit. And that was a good experience. I will say that was a great place to be, that I learned skills that I wouldn't have otherwise learned. It's a large organization. It didn't have a lot of structure at the time. There were things that, we're trying to put in place when I was there. But I learned international recruiting. I gained some knowledge on some things that I wouldn't have gained any other way. And that's why that experience worked well. It's the humanitarian operation of their organization. So that was a really good experience. I didn't want to get pigeonholed there, but now, interestingly enough, I got recruited to join a firm by the Source and Recruit company, wound up there for about a year almost. But, 2023, the market slowed down considerably. And I remember when the boss came and said, "Hey, I can't keep you. This is what's happening." And it was an interesting set of circumstances at the time, trying to figure out what that was all about and why that was happening the way it did. But I will say that, good experience. It was something I needed at the time. I took on source hours, which was like bullhorn. So I used that to fill in the time for a little bit. I had to work the 1099 side. Meanwhile, the gig economy was red hot and I could do that as well. And that kept me afloat. Flash forward, I was able to land in this contract role I've had for 18 months. And now we're at the 18-month mark and it's January 2026. I thought the market would turn by now. Again, cautious hiring. We've got strange circumstances. You have tariffs in the mix, companies, being extra cautious. It's a lot of the same story from, 23. Really hasn't changed much, right? So 2 years really didn't, you thought it would be that way, but this is how things are. So it's just kind of an interesting reality. Now, companies are hiring. I am getting interviews, okay? My contract ends in 2 weeks, but I have great opportunity kind of knocking on the door. I've been really close. I've been a runner-up in one circumstance. Someone got a referral. The other one, went all the way distance, went through 4 rounds of interviews. And then they decided they needed to hire a director of TA, and the director of TA decided that role wanted kind of put on the back burner for a while. So that's what happened there. Now I'm waiting on one other organization. I won't name the name yet, but I have probably a greater than 80% shot of getting it. There are some things that could, make it go a certain way. Now, this is what I've learned about this market and this, kind of reality that we're in right now. Several things. you have to have a where's your next mindset. And what that means is, I kind of spoke on this. I put this on a recent post on LinkedIn. I just said, hey, here's some ideas to get, make yourself more effective, give yourself more chances. I call them shots on goal. So I'm a hockey fan. I've watched the Sharks for years. And now we have the Mammoth in Utah. So as I sit here, I'm pondering all this and thinking, okay, we've been through a lot of weird circumstances these past few years, but even with some shorter stints, which is not something I want on my resume, it's just the reality of the market. And that's how it feels. You've done everything you possibly can to put yourself in a good position to make everything happen. But then you get to a point where you're like, you're right there. Like you had some really solid interviews. One organization fast-tracked me through everything. It's the day after. I'm waiting to see what they're going to do. We're in decision land. So the role was pulled. Okay. So all good signs, lots of good, indicators. The question is, are they going to bite the bullet and, go the distance? In any other market in previous years, I would have had an offer by right now, today. Okay? So let me put this in perspective for everybody. We are in a very different market, and that can be overwhelming. So this is why I stressed on an earlier video on Where's Your Next, and this is why I'm posting today, because I feel a dynamic duty to say this. Have multiple streams of income. Know your value proposition backwards and forwards. Be confident in every single conversation you have. Tell your story with transparency, clarity, and confidence. It lands better. Even if you've been in circumstances that have not been your fault, if there's been circumstances that have been less than ideal, join the crowd. There's a lot of us in that boat. I want to be clear. Layoffs are at the highest level since COVID. Let that sink for a moment. The unemployment rate is 4.4%. The active job seeker amount of people on the market, especially with recruiting roles and people roles, are at a highest level than ever before. Now, that is not something to be scared of. Hear me. Is it the audacity of me to say that today? Let me just be clear. It is a tough market. It is hard. It is, sorry about the lighting. It's kind of a weird sun angle. I'm just going to kind of block that a little bit if I can. I'm not sure where that's all coming from. But guys, just be careful. This is your life. You have the ability to rise above this. I'm just giving us a pep talk on the YouTube channel. I don't know who's going to see this, honestly. And this helps me too. I need to talk through it. It helps me get it out. But I have been having interviews right and left, been close 3 times. Okay. One's still in play. That's really, really, really close. And I can feel that it's close. I know that it's close. I'm getting immediate responses from the folks over there. There's no language of, they're still deciding. They haven't made their final choice yet. That's okay. It means I'm in the dialogue. I have set myself up. First and goal, I have taken, in football terms, I'm about to break the plane. I have been this close. They asked for references. This is a good position to be in. Now, when this happens, getting to this point can be very hard for many job seekers, so they don't know how to navigate it. It is a very difficult market. The fact that I'm even in this place shows me that you can make a difference, but you have to be clear about your core message. What do you want? What value do you bring to get to that? And why do you want it? If you are clear and you are professional, you send follow-ups, you say thank you. There's going to come a point where people just psychologically are going to want to hire you. Now, Many job seekers are also in places where they've been for months, because this is an unprecedented thing. It's very hard to go through. But, executing a job search on a certain level, I would tell you these simple things to keep in mind. Apply to jobs within 72 hours of posting whenever possible. That puts you in the initial review stages. You're right in the queue. Even with an AI bot screening you and ranking you, okay? Very clear. Make sure you're doing that because you're at the front of the, pipeline there. Honestly, there's other things. Some places want direct industry experience with a bunch of stuff sprinkled in. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's just be honest. They could probably hire someone, but you got some hiring managers that are, in this mode. I need this. They're shooting themselves in the foot. Speaking from a recruiting sense, but that's okay. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Take the shot. If you feel like you're a fit, meet 70% of qualifications, still apply. Now, a note about bot spammers. Those things can make mistakes. So those multi-apply, spray and pray tools, and they're rising. There's a bunch of AI things that promise the sky. Be careful with those. Vet them backwards and forwards, because honestly, if you use AI to write your resume, also watch the dashes. It's a very clear thing. They can put dashes. If the AI tool ChatGPT spits out a great resume for you, looks polished, looks clean, okay? Revamp it slightly. Throw in, make sure you have your accomplishment-based statements put in there. Estimate if you have to. It's okay. If you did it, put it down. Did you increase something's worth and value by 50%? Did you, whatever. That's part of your core message. Get that down. Okay? Iron that out. Get it clean, even if you're using an AI tool to help you. However, rewrite some of it in your own words. Make sure the bullets make sense. Make sure they're consistent throughout, and they match your LinkedIn profile as well. Okay? Slight variations, it's okay. Just make sure they're consistent, okay? LinkedIn's consistent, resume consistent. Important, people do check that. Spelling errors, all that stuff still matters. Now, but the most important thing, human beings still hire humans, not AI bots. So, increase the quality and quantity of your applications without a spray and pray thing. Be clear about your value proposition. It's going to come up in interviews. Interviews don't lie. They will reveal something, okay? Other things. Be absolutely 100% focused on your strategy. Keep going. Now, add into the mix. Go to professional association meetups. Powerful. If you can find the contact information of key decision makers in your field, you can do this by looking up LinkedIn, finding the company, the name of certain decision makers in your specialty, okay? Get a hold of those people, connect with them. Go to these professional association meetups. Once a month, you're having human interactions. You're in front of potential hiring managers. They give a microphone in many of these, and they'll say, come up and tell us if you're looking for a job. People want to help, naturally. Don't be needy. Be professionally confident. Be clean and focused. A note about the Open to Work banner. It's okay to put that on. Use strategically. Some people do have a bias against it. As stupid and ridiculous as that is, yes, they do. But don't listen to the myth that you shouldn't use it, because you can. It is okay to use the Open to Work banner. Be smart about its use, though, okay? Now, we are in a very strange job market, and it can feel like you're stuck. But you want to reverse engineer this thing as much as possible. You want to be the one that's getting to decision makers around the black hole. Okay? What I'm saying about that is make human interactions, connect with your LinkedIn connections, people, remember positive interactions. Make comments that are useful on, places where people congregate. Focus on the big picture. Send positive vibes and confident vibes, not arrogant ones. Send thank yous. Get an interview, thank them. Because the very effort to thank and be grateful is a missing skill. Let me tell you this. There is a psychological impact by receiving a thank you that is well written. Even if it's an email, it's okay. But be absolutely 100% clear about what you want and your why. And then focus on the back end with your message and keep refining it. Practice interviewing. When you get into, practice common interview questions. Pull those from Indeed, wherever you are. You do not have to be an expert in hiring to be able to get hired now. Finally, let me tell you this. Have courage and faith in yourself and what you offer this world. There are many people that are going to make it hard. So today, I turn my attention to the next couple weeks. Hopefully I'll have an offer in hand here and I can make some decisions and make some announcements here pretty soon. But if I happen to be still looking and on the market, I still have like 5 opportunities. I've just refilled my funnel with new stuff, okay? So hiring is happening, and I want you to be confident about that. Recruiters are getting hired. There are a lot of recruiters on the market, and in order to differentiate myself, I've had to do some different things. I'm also showing up on LinkedIn with positive content, useful content that people can go, wow, that actually makes sense, and having dialogue and discussion that adds pertinent value to others. So when we're in this boat and we're in this crazy time that we are in, my advice is do not ever give up. You might be the best person that someone could hire and a hidden diamond in the rough, but they won't know it if your message gets lost in the shuffle. What I mean by that is find ways to get your message in front of the right decision makers and keep believing in yourself. It's the where's your next attitude that makes a difference in this world. And I sit here at the beginning of 2026, having felt and seen again many different things that make me scratch my head at times, but also I know that I have enough to offer because I'm getting where I need to go. So the advice I'm giving you is clear and clean. This is from one who's having an effective job search so far. It's only a matter of time before I land, and I have my backup plan. I have my backup streams of income. If I have to do consulting for a while, so be it. I might even open an LLC and call myself Where's Your Next Consulting. Offer to teach sourcing for a while to different people. And people will ask for that in my field. I can offer that. Even if it's freelance 1099. If it's not the ideal scenario, we are in a strange world with a lot of moving parts and a lot of different things going. Finally, please be confident in yourself and what you're facing right now. You are not alone. This is your life. So from me to you, please stay focused, clean. Set up a podcast if you have to. Set up something on content that allows you to make pertinent value-added conversations on LinkedIn. You can do that. It will differentiate you. Let yourself have hope. These are strange times, but like everything else, it's a season. This too shall pass. Don't be afraid and go forward in a where's your next mentality. This is your life. Own it. Make it happen. I hope you can make it through. Don't give up. Have the where's your next mantra and focus and put yourself out there. You got it. From me to you, have a wonderful week. Until next time, on Where's Your Next?